Da 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 da. Bow.
Whatever happened to predictability?
Well, it got picked up by Netflix and turned into this steaming pile of cheesy, nostalgic, I don't know what. And yet,
I
I'm on episode 4.
I'm on 9.
Wow, you really couldn't sleep last night. So, Fuller House. I mean, obviously, you and I are suckers for anything, so we both were furiously texting after the first one, like, is this happening? Can I get this time back? I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be watching, and yet I'll watch more.
And yet you'll be watching forever, forever.
I don't even know where to file that. That made me so visibly uncomfortable, and I was sitting by myself watching it, obviously. Like,
If we're gonna just discuss the pilot to start, for as bad as Forever was, how about the Flintstones thing with the split screen?
that made me super uncomfortable. Let's
It,
yeah. I was gonna say let's file all that under this category that I get where I'm like, I understand the nostalgia. I'm there, but you know what? The whole thing, just rebooting it, is built in nostalgia. We don't need to shove it
correct.
down our throat.
Yes.
I
And the
don't
whole
get it.
open. The open was enough. We see old them, we see new them. Oh, cute. They're doing the same pose. Like, okay, get it. And I was okay with the Michelle joke. I'm not always a huge fan of breaking character and looking at the camera.
I
Okay, if
agree.
you do it once, it's okay. But there was just too much. There was too much in this pilot episode.
All I can think is that they're like, okay, it's been 29 years since they, premiered originally in the 80s. We're going to get a whole new generation of people who may not have ever seen the original, so we have to remind them of things that happened that look exactly like what we're trying to do here, which I don't think you need to do. Obviously took a note from Girl Meets World, rebooting the Boy Meets World concept. And Girl Meets World does do a fair amount of like taking a look back, but what they do is just show that footage from then that has like, you remember when? Do 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 do. And like it goes back to that. It doesn't make it so forced to where it's like zoop, yellow line split screen. Look, could I be any more? I mean, it was like Full House for Dummies. It was just really incredible. The other
And we're
thing,
the dummies.
I know, because we keep watching. The thing that I was like stuck with was I know that they are so excited that this is happening. They are so excited, but I'm over the visible excitement at the fact that they're just in the room together. Like the opener with Bob Saget and John Stamos comes down the stairs and they can't even contain themselves. They're giggling with excitement that they're back on the stage. And I just feel like the whole thing had this feeling of like, you show up at a party late, everybody's 3 rounds of drinks in, and kind of like slap happy drunk, and you're just annoyed. You're like, I wasn't here for the beginning of this. I don't know why everybody's acting so goofy. I want out. That's what I felt like.
Yeah. I think my biggest fault with the pilot, besides the Flintstones thing, is the Nikki and Alex. Like, why are they there? First of all, we didn't like them the first time around. It's like they're not going to fill the void of the Olsen twins. And their characters are just stupid, and everything that Jesse and Becky said about them was just a way. That's not what the show's about. Let's just focus on DJ. Okay, Stephanie comes in. Okay, Kimmy. Enough.
Yeah, and I also don't know why we needed to make them so clearly like underachieving and bumbling, because like the Aunt Becky and Uncle Jesse characters for a long time were like, we're going after anything we can. We're so ambitious and we're very committed to like focusing on like how to do well and all this stuff. And so it's like, I call shenanigans on that they're like, I like surfing and so I've spent in college. Like it just seemed forced. And I'm like, is that how those guys are in real life now? And we just told them, be yourselves? I don't know. I don't know where they plucked them from, honestly.
I think Houston, we have a problem, and any other city in America, when your better actors on the show
Are the kids?
Are your 12 and under people. Like, I couldn't get over it. I mean, past the pilot, the writing gets better. The writing is more Girl Meets World type and vintage sitcom. And the children are pulling it off. But the adults don't know what the hell they're doing.
No.
And I've seen Candace Cameron act in other things, and she's fine. She is not fine in this show. She is not fine.
No, she's not fine. She's not fine at all.
It hurts my heart.
It does. Anytime that there's a shot that Jodie Sweetin, God bless her for getting all like cleaned up and purty for this, and Kimmy Gibbler, Andrea Barber are the better actors, perhaps.
No! And Scott Winger, bless his heart, you haven't gotten to further episodes. He's pretty good, actually, because he's pulling it off. He's like taking that, like, what we did in the 90s, updating it, still acting all right, not like playing into the, I'm gonna be super cheesy. He's like doing the cheesy line, but acting it like a normal actor. Good on you, Scott Winger. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot figure out what Candace Cameron is doing.
Candace Cameron had one redeeming moment for me, and I think it was just a product of like the timing that I was in, because I have spent like so much time this month alone and raising a child. Having that moment upstairs in the bedroom with the kid and the monitor crying about how she didn't know how she was going to do all this, I was totally bought in. But it was because I'm like, oh, I don't know how she's going to do this. I really legitimately don't know how she's going to do this with 3 kids. And then as soon as that monitor moment was done, I was like, oh, no, that was just a fluke. This is the real moment we're going to have. This is the acting that we're going to present. And I do like her. I really do.
Me too. I love her.
It's almost like they're friends in real life and they're having so much fun, but it's not really translating to, I don't know. What I do like, or I don't even know if I like it, but I just think it's noticeable, is this clearly ain't ABC in the 80s anymore. It's very, very apparent to me that it's on Netflix, because some of the stuff that was buried and subtle in the original is like so overt here, like between the sexual innuendos or references and the like overdone of the alcohol, and Stephanie's the party girl, and I'm like, right. Oh, it's fantastic. It's found a new vehicle, and it's going to be a little bit trashier than the first one was, except with the cute precocious kids like getting their way in.
Like I said, the writing is fine past the pilot episode. And there are certain things that I think are cute. They make a joke about the Olsen twins as the Olsens, not Mary-Kate and Ashley later, that I was like, okay, that's cute. I love the fact that Stephanie's name is DJ Tanner.
That's my favorite part. That's actually...
With them with like, you stole my name, like that was cute. So there are cute things. And like I said, the Scott Winger stuff is written super cheesy, but he's pulling it off in a very... trying to think of like a modern day sitcom that kind of has like the goofy neighbor or boyfriend. There's got to be something. And I don't know, actually, there's not. It's probably a Disney Channel, because that's
no, I was gonna say that's how Ben Savage plays it on Girl Meets World, but he like owns it because he was like that on Boy Meets World, right. So he's just like a giant version of his child character from the 90s, and it works because you're like, okay, because she grounds him as Topanga, so it works, but it's like so overdone, like wink wink. Like, yeah, but you buy into it, and that makes me happy about Scott Winger, because I haven't made it into further episodes where he comes back, but in the beginning I was like, oh, there he is, oh, let's see where this heads. And then like before I even got the words out of my mouth, he was like, I know you're single and I'm single too, and you're not ready, but when you're ready, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I get it, the whole thing's been spoon-fed, I get it. I like what Kimmy Gibbler's ex-husband is like. If he would just tone it down, he's like some super hot Latin guy, but it's like over the top, just complete over the top. I'm sure
I feel like they were like, ooh, Jane the Virgin is doing well. Let's take a note from that book. Except you're not doing a spoof of a telenovela.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Because I've been binge watching Jane the Virgin. I was like, oh, is this what we're doing? Are you Rogelio? Like, are you the guy?
Exactly.
The other question I had is, wow, blink and you miss her. At least in the pilot, I thought it was weird. Who the heck, Danny Tanner's married again? Who's Mrs. Danny Tanner?
It's not been mentioned again. Not so far.
What? And there was like, she was like super young and hot, and she's like, hello, Mr. Tanner. Hello, Mrs. Tanner. Oh, we'd like some alone time.
That was probably like a Bob Saget thing. I'm only doing it if I have a really hot young wife.
And Bob Saget, God bless him, has not... I mean, everybody ages, but there's something about him. He just has this, like, continually constipated face.
And it's the neck. That's what my friends were asking about. What happened to his neck?
He looks like he has goiters.
And they didn't fix this part.
Is that what it was? I was like, he's got goiters in there or something. There's something.
Well, and it's because he has, like, reddish skin, and obviously he's outside a lot in California. So he's got white lines in between, like, the The skin rolls.
That, and there's a swelling right here to where he
There's a lot
can't
of
move his
swelling.
face, and so his eyes just look squinted all the time like they did in the 80s, except he just looks constipated.
I don't know. As a whole, it's bless their hearts. That's
Bless
all I
their
can say.
heart.
I live in the South. Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts. Season 2? You think they're gonna get a season 2?
You know, it's probably, knowing Netflix, yes, they'll get a season 2.
Somewhere, so I'm excited for Jodie Sweetin because life was not doing very well for her about 10 years ago.
No.
Everything looks really good and put back together considering
I
all the
mean,
problems she had.
I say if you're going to do meth and you five teeth rot, use her as what you'd like your mouth to look like after.
Oh, she is for sure a
It looks
before and
good.
after picture. They look phenomenal. Everything. Skin looks good. You'd never know. Everything is just ready.
Good for her. Honestly, good for her.
No, I know.
I really am happy she got clean and looks
Me
good.
too. Me too. And thank God she was part of a show that apparently was such a big hit that it was like worth plucking her out of obscurity again. All I can think is that like somewhere like the cast of Step by Step is sitting around like, please.
Oh, that's a good one. Or just the 10 of us. Just
that's
the 10
even
of
better.
us.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you've got 4 to go. I've got like 9. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Ish.
I'm not sticking around today to keep watching Full House.
You've canceled
Don't
all your
worry.
plans. You've
Don't
canceled
worry,
all your
guys.
plans. You've canceled all your plans.
Oh, whoa, baby.
You got it, dude.